Hello, Lucas. Thank you for joining the podcast here.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, glad to talk to you. The first question I have, I would say, let's jump right into this. We had a nice conversation before. I'm back from Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
You told me you've never been there. While I was waiting on the plane or for the plane, I was doing some research on you, taking a look at your stream and your background and so on. And I was the first question that came into my mind is like, your name is Lucas, but your screen name is RobinPoker.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that connected?
Yeah, so I'll tell you how it's connected, and I'll tell you the story behind it as well. So my second name is Robinson. So that's where I get the Robin from. And I basically always like the idea of having a brand of Robin, because like whenever I see a Robin bird, so as you can see through my logo, it's like a Robin, like a Robin bird. That always just reminds me of like just my family. So say like my uncle died when he was pretty young. And every time I see it, I just always think it's like my uncle. And then my nan's passed away recently. So every time I see a Robin, think it's meant like basically think it's like family. So I just think because that's my lucky kind of family, like I don't know, bird or animal you'd say. But the actual story behind RobinPoker is I started many people don't know this. I actually started streaming when I was 18. I set my own, I didn't know anyone in poker. I just really wanted to start streaming poker. I set up my own overlay. It was so rubbish. I set this like $10 bankroll challenge. I started with $10 playing like micro stakes, like sit and goes, like 5 cents, 10 cents. But I was really like at the time, ashamed. Like I was in school still. So, and when you're in school, you don't really want to do things out of the ordinary because you think people are going to make fun of you. Like I was kind of in like the cool group. So I wouldn't have thought that I would have got made fun of, but just for your friends, you're like, I don't really want to be seen as like, because back then Twitch really wasn't that popular to do. And streaming video games, like I tried to like do YouTube, like FIFA YouTube and stuff, and I don't know, I just was a bit ashamed at the time. So I thought I'd call myself RobinPoker, and because then people won't be able to find me in my school, so they won't be able to like search Lucas. And I also thought from a business standpoint, same, getting a sick logo, but then also if people search Lucas normally is with a C, not with a K. So if people search Lucas Poker or my name, Lucas Robinson, they may not search the right name, and then people wouldn't be able to find me. So even at the young age of 18, from a marketing point of view, I smart. But the main reason was I got it from a surname. Plus, then I really didn't want anyone in my school finding out that I was streaming poker. And then I didn't stream done like 3 streams. And I didn't stream them for like 3 years until I restarted again.
Yeah, and that's also how I found you. Like you stream a lot. You have a lot of watchers. You play very good limits already. Very high limits. So the journey. I mean, you're also a very young guy, if I'm correct, right? How old are you?
Yeah, 24.
24. Yeah, pretty young. So for me, it's always very intriguing that some people like they start with like playing a few cents, like tournaments for like $1 or something, and then they move up and play like high stakes at some point. Yeah, so I think the people who know you, they know your story, but for me, it's more important, and that's also when the mindset topic comes in. Is like, what are your goals for the future? I mean, with your age, you basically make a lot of money, you're streaming, you have a lot of things in place that other people dream of. So exactly, how do you imagine your life with 30 or like 35, for example?
My main aim, so like that's what I mean in terms of there's something we can talk to maybe later on, is like meditation. I've started to meditate, and just because I'm just really trying to work on myself and do everything possible to try and basically, I think there's potential there to become one of the best players in the world. And because I'm a young age, I've loved the game. I think that's important. If you really love something, I don't think you can become number one at something if you don't love the game. I've got the right people around me now. Work with BBZ, in my opinion, one of the best coaches in the world. So I've got all the right people around me now. Obviously got GG sponsorship and stuff like that. So I've got a different income through poker, which allows me to not be as affected through downswings and stuff. So my number one goal is just to become number one on Twitch in terms of like numbers, in terms of viewers. But I also want to just be respected as just being like, kind of like a BBZ, kind of like I'm good friends with like Easy with Aces, kind of like a Lex. They're really good in terms of their audience. And obviously Lex is number one, Finton's like, I'd say number two, number three. They're respected in terms of streaming, so they put a hard work in streaming, but they're also very respected in terms of how they play the game as well. So they're very good players. So, and I see, like, I'm 24 now. I've kind of got a head start over many other people that get into poker. Like I'm in it reasonably young. So my number one aims are just to keep grinding and studying. And I do want to become like, I just want to be remembered. Like, I want to be like, when I'm sat down with my grandkids and they're like, yo, granddad, like, what were you doing? Like, what did you achieve? Like, I'm gonna be like, they can be like, my granddad was like this number one of the best poker players in the world, like was number one on Twitch. And because I look, because even starting it, so I was starting at, like I said, at the micro stakes and stuff. And I was like, I looked at other people and or the streamers or the poker players, was like, what's different to them than me? And there's not, like, poker's not a thing where, for instance, like, I'm really into the gym, but like, I know I would never be able to become like Mr. Olympia because of the genetics. Like, you do need good genetics, obviously. Like, they're on like steroids and stuff as well. But then maybe another better example is like football. Like, obviously you've got Liverpool top on, like soccer people call it. You need that natural talent. Whereas poker, obviously I feel like I'm not naturally intelligent. I needed to work hard in school, but I have got that natural ability to want to work hard. And I feel like that working hard is probably a better trait than, like, saying being like a bit more intelligent, because it is just pure hard work. And I don't care what people say. That's why I want to inspire people with my story to be like, I am just a normal lad. At 18 years old playing micro stakes, didn't have any money, didn't have, like, my dad give me like $10,000 to try and start in poker and build a bankroll. Like, I literally built it from $10, and built it from scratch and studied. And last year 2020 worked full-time job and then streamed around that and tried to study. So I was inspired by other streamers. So like I said, Finton, granted up from the micro stakes, like Jamie Staples was the first Twitch streamer that I found through YouTube. And he inspired me because, again, I was like, I just thought sponsored poker pros were like high stakes, these super intelligent guys. And like Jamie Staples was the first guy. I was like, he just looks like a normal guy. He's super nice. Yeah. And again, he inspired me. And I like to him, like, follow me on Twitter and give me support when I do my challenge. And like, I want to definitely have like a good conversation with him. Kevin Martin was another one that I met, and obviously he's part of the GG team, but I met him in Vegas. And just to be surrounding myself with these people that I grew up watching, like, I am just one of the biggest poker fans. So I do pinch myself like most days and be like, this is crazy that I am in this position.
Yeah, I like it. And that's so inspiring, because maybe also for your audience who doesn't know me that well. Yeah. So I'm a mindset coach. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to, because before we started this podcast, I don't really know much about your kind of business. And I was saying, I've started working with Zach Ainsley, who's like a bodybuilder, but he's worked with Wim Hof, who does all like the ice baths and the cold showers and stuff. So all about mindset. And it's something that I really, I've got in place in terms of the poker study, but I now need to, I feel like there's an edge to be had there in poker that people don't concentrate enough on the mindset, in terms of, like, because if you don't feel good overall, like, how are you then meant to play your best optimally in poker? And I want to, with the help of Zach Ainsley, and he sees that as well, there is a gap in poker. And this is why I did want to have a conversation with you. For people, I feel like even the top regs, like online regs, I still see them like, you could actually be even better than you are if you concentrate on going to the gym, meditating, like eating healthy. It's so important. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear more kind of about your like business now, how it kind of started as well.
So what I want to start off with is like your story, because you said you played the micro stakes, yeah, and then you moved your way up. For people who don't know me, like I have a background. For some people, it might be surprising, but I started my first business as a dating coach, actually. So I was a dating coach. I helped guys to find a girlfriend, and when they found a girlfriend, I helped them to improve their relationship.
That's it.
So that basically was my first business. But building that business and learning those skills you need, yeah, to be confident, because I was very shy, starting off. I was not like the guy that I am today. I was like super shy, introverted, and building that skill set took a while. And I was also like, I had a long phase of my life where I was super broke. I was like, I always like, Ben is a very good friend of mine, Ben CB. Yeah, that's how I came into poker. And I always joke around with Ben, and like telling him the story of mine. I was like so broke at one stage of my life. I wanted to go out because it was my business, but I was not able to afford the entry fee of like $15. Yeah. So I was climbing over 3-meter like a wall just to get into the nightclub. And each nightclub, my jeans ripped. So I was in the nightclub each night, yeah, with ripped jeans. Yeah. So people saw my underwear like each night. Yeah. But I thought I'm better, like climbing over the wall and being there with ripped jeans than not working on myself at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that was funny. That was a little challenge. Yeah. Like I was at this time never in the club with like perfect jeans. I always like had ripped jeans. And I went home to my mom and I'm like, hey, like each night, like, hey, can you like fix my jeans? And she's like, what did you do? And did you climb up the wall again? I'm like, yeah,
So once you get into the club, what was your aim? So are you picking up girls there, or are you going to other men and being like, this is how I can, like, what were you going to the club for?
Depends on the stage. Like at the very beginning, I was just there to like talk to people to be more confident because I was super shy.
Okay. Yeah.
For me, just going into a nightclub, just being there was so scary at all. Yeah. So just walking in and doing nothing was super scary. Yeah. But then of course, over time, I developed more confidence, and I was just there to network, to connect, and as I said, like build that confidence that I was teaching later on to guys.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But that was just a little fun story that I wanted to share at the beginning.
That's the stuff you got to do. And the same with me. Like the fun story I say is like I was working full time from home, 9 to 5. And then I was that tired that on my half an hour lunch break, I was like having a nap in between. And then finishing, having a shower, getting ready, streaming 6 till sometimes, because I was playing tournaments as well. And I just love tournaments. I wanted to do it that way. I just didn't enjoy cash, but it would have been better to probably like study cash, play cash, maybe online like Zoom or something. But I just love tournaments. So I played tournaments till like 3, 4 in the morning some nights. But this was when I was living at my mum and dad's, when I was living with my girlfriend was living with me. So she used to go and stay in the spare room whenever I like ran deep in tournaments, and because she couldn't sleep if I was still streaming till like 2, 3 in the morning. So we look back now, we're in off nice flat and stuff we got, and moved out for the first time last year. And we just think back, like, how did we do that? Like, how did we never had any time together. I was then getting up the next day at 9 a.m. You think back and you think, how did I do that? But then I'm so glad I did that because of where I am now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you probably feel the same about me. That story.
Same with me. Yeah. It was so funny because at some point, the securities, they realized that like I and like 2, 3 other friends were like climbing in and stuff like that. And then it was like even more difficult because the securities walking around the walls, and we had to be careful to not get, seen by them. So it was a super fun time. But that's basically very important to make or to show people that you need to sometimes work very hard and do things that might feel very uncomfortable. Yeah. But without these things, it will be hard to reach a level with 24 years old, where you basically like crush and where you're in a position where other people want to be in your spot.
And I was going to say about the meditation. So in the meditation, it was one day it's about learning. Like I really am bad at like being in the moment, and all this doesn't seem real. This is what I'm saying. Like hadn't really all sunk in, everything like that I did last year. It was all because it all happened in one year, and it's kind of hard for me to accept that everything, which is like, because I'm just never in the moment. And again, like I've done all these things that I never actually think I thought I would achieve in my life, never mind in one year. And I'm still, the mindset I have is like, I'm still pushing, like it's not enough for me. And this is, I think it's a very good thing, because this is what is going to make me achieve like amazing things in life. But I also need to kind of enjoy the moment a bit more. So say if I'm spending time with my girlfriend, she's like, you're always just like thinking about work and on my phone. And I'm starting to, that's why I do want to start meditation and stuff, because I just feel like it'll just allow me to be in the moment and actually enjoy the process a bit more. Like Tyson Fury, for instance, like he became heavyweight champion of the world and then fell into this deep depression because he achieved his lifelong goal. Like I need to just think, let's enjoy this process, because I will look back and say if I do get to number one, say, I don't know, number one best player in the UK or whatever, or number one on Twitch in terms of viewers or whatever, followers, like it won't be, I know it won't be as good as I think it'll be. And when I reach that, I will just be like, right, what's next? You know what I mean? So I do need to just enjoy the process a bit more, and I'm starting to. But that in the meditation one day, it said to basically just think what you're like grateful for. And in it said what you said. It said you need to be grateful for the stuff right now that actually a few years ago you dreamt about having. And this is so exactly like for me, because this time 2 years ago, I dreamt about being in the position I am right now. And still sometimes it's like, it's not enough. And it's like, no, we need to just keep going. So I just need time to just chill sometimes, and kind of, it, like I said, it's a positive, but not have that negative side of it as well, where I may get burnt out, because when I done the challenge, I did get burnt out from poker. And that's the reason why people don't stream 100 days in a row ever, because you will just get burnt out.
Yeah. I mean, exactly what you said. It's a very thin line between always like pushing for more and being motivated and say, okay, like I have big goals, and if I reach those big goals, I like push for more. At the same time, being grateful for what you have. And that is very hard to do, because usually we lean more in this or that direction. And that's so interesting for my clients as well, to keep them on track. For me, like that's why it's called mindset mentoring. I don't charge per hour. I think if you really understand the mindset work and how the brain is built, charging per hour makes absolutely no sense. So what I do is I work with my clients for multiple weeks, and I make sure that because sometimes people say like, I have like one problem or two problems only. And then we dig deeper, and then we found so many things that they're like, oh my God, like we will talk forever. I'm like, let's solve it one by one. And one of the big lessons is exactly that, making sure that they are still motivated and push for more, even because some of my clients, they're millionaires already. They made millions with poker. And of course, I understand. If you have like an amazing house, on the beach, an amazing girlfriend, like you're in decent shape. I know. Sometimes you ask yourself, why should I push for more? I have everything that I want. But it's still the thin line between, okay, I'm grateful for the life I have, and I still push for more. And if you find that line, meditation is one thing that can help you. Visualization is also something that I teach my clients a lot. If you find that line, and if you stick in that, basically the best spot that you can be in, for as long as you can, this is, I think, one of the spots where you can be super grateful and where you're unstoppable. So because you wake up, you're motivated and grateful at the same time. That's a spot that if you're in that spot, I think everything is possible.
And that's the thing. Like I'm still young. I'm still like learning. I'm hungry. Because I could just be now, right? I'm just not gonna work. I'm at a level like I'm playing like $109 buy-ins and stuff. And I'm at like, from what I was playing the micro stakes like 2 years ago, I was playing micro stakes. So I'm at like decent level, like got a good income through like sponsorships and stuff. So I could just be now just like, right, done. I'm gonna go and just chill, go on holiday. But I'm not. Like it's made me more motivated because I don't ever want to. I've said this on previous podcasts, and I don't want to sound bad, but people kind of that know me understand. I've always been so scared to live like a normal life. So like live like I always say 9 to 5 office job, right? But I do stream 9 to 5. So I don't mean like 9 to 5 in terms of the hours. What I mean is just a job that I hate. Like, and I see so many like my friends are like, oh, just like they live for the weekend, go out on the weekend, then the back Monday. And like most people I think are just like, oh, Monday morning. I love Mondays. Like that's how I know. Like I know I'm starting to like got a lot better with being more and more like I'm so happy. Like I wake up on a Monday and I'm so excited for the week ahead. And I never want to go back to that job of just not enjoying it, because you live one life. In my opinion, you live one life. Why would you not want to be doing something that you love? And I know that people say that's easier said than done when you have a kid and mortgage, and you can't just, because I just did quit my job and it was a big risk, but it worked out. And I know people can't do that, but you still can. Like, people don't see the year before that I was working 40 hours a week. I think at the peak was about 50 odd in when I had COVID, because I was online, like social media moderator, and it was busy in COVID when it first happened. So I was working 50 hours and then studying and streaming in an evening. So that year was like, I don't know how, like I say to my girlfriend, how did we stay together? Like, how did I have friends and family? Because everything got put on hold. But if you really want to get out that thing of a bad job or of not enjoying life, I just have that attitude of like, I do get people are more scared of like the consequences, what would happen, but I'm more scared of like the opportunity. So like looking back when I'm like 50 years old and thinking, why didn't I go for that? Like, and I could have with this challenge. If I'd never done this challenge, I may have just given my dream up of becoming a poker player and a streamer. And I'm so happy I did. And look what happened. Like, and even if I had to go back to an old job, I still, at least then I would have had the reassurance of I tried it. And I won't regret, because I do, like, there is some stuff like most people think back, oh, I regret not doing that. Like a girl, like the girl they fancy, why don't they just go up to that girl in a club? Like, you probably know that it's quite often like of what your old job was. And I'm the same with this. Like, it was just like, I just really want it so bad. And same with like becoming one of the best. Like, when I eventually do retire, I want people to be like, look what he achieved in his life. And that's for me. It's just like the breaking away from that just normal life. I don't know why. I never enjoyed it. I never really enjoyed school, like sixth form, being like told what to do, and like having a manager of just like, because you see let's say if you're working like in a job, you see your manager or work colleagues more than you see anyone else, even like your girlfriends or whatever. So I just don't miss having like a manager that's like horrible to you day in, day out, and like you're basically earning money for other people that own a business. Like, for me, I do understand, because it's a lot easier, but it's a lot more secure, but in a way it's actually not easier, because it makes your life so much more miserable.
Yeah. I like what you said, because this reminded me a little bit of Ben. Yeah, because that's one attribute that for me is still, and I'm meeting Ben later today, is still something that like each time I see him, it's super like super surprising and motivating for me. Like, when I met Ben, like I mean, he was successful all his life, it feels like that, yeah. But when I met Ben, he introduced me to poker, and I had no clue about this. I'm like, what is poker, right? But he had like this fire and this motivation teaching me, like playing with me the cards. I had no clue, like I didn't even know like how successful he was in the beginning. But I remember the first time I entered his apartment, it's just like he now has an even better one. Yeah. But back then this was the most beautiful apartment I've ever saw. Like one of the best spots you can have here in Vienna, like super bright and super big and like a big kitchen and like everything you need. Yeah.
How did you meet Ben CB?
I met him through a friend. So I went on a seminar, and my neighbor on the seminar was also a poker player. I didn't know it. And then we just had a chat, and he's like, man, you're an amazing guy. I need to introduce you to someone. Yeah. To someone's a super cool guy. And that's how I met Ben. Yeah. And like Ben looks like a normal person. I didn't know how successful he is. But then I entered his apartment. I was super surprised. Like, what do you do? And he's like, yeah, I'm a poker player. I'm like, a poker player? Like, how can you make so much money? And like, teach me this game. Yeah. And then like, and that's the funny thing. Like, you know, me playing with Ben, you know, like he could say like, yeah, you watch my YouTube videos, mate, you know, but he was like with me on the table, and it's still like that. Yeah. Ben is like not just a good poker player. He's also like a super sporty guy. I think some people underestimate that. Like I remember last summer, I was like playing soccer or football, whatever you call it, with Ben. Yeah. And I thought, all right, like as a poker player, you might not be in the best shape. This guy was running the pitch up and down like a maniac. I'm like,
no, I know, because I follow him. Yeah, so it's so funny because that's why I'm working with Zach, and who has been on the podcast with Ben. So me and Zach were literally talking about Ben CB the other day in terms of like how fit he actually is, and Zach was like, he's like fitter than me, and then how that then correlates. So the first ever piece of like poker content that I bought and used, and what I think took me from like not really being that good of a player to like building up a bankroll, was the Raise Your Edge masterclass. So that's funny how like you're like kind of know Ben CB and stuff, because that I just respect him like so much. And I know most poker players do, but that's the kind of, his content was the first piece that kind of took my game to the next level. Yeah.
And I really think without Ben, I would not be in the situation that I am today, you know? So I'm super grateful that I met him. And I think sometimes he doesn't even know how much impact he has, because I know like he's also not just like a super sporty guy. He's also a very smart guy when it comes to investing. So he doesn't have to work anymore. Yeah. He really doesn't. Yeah. He has an amazing girlfriend, an amazing apartment, like, you know, good investments, like everything is set up. Yeah.
That's exactly the point I want to be at when I'm, I don't know how old is Ben CB, do you know?
He's like 31, 32, something like that.
Yeah. So that's what I mean, in like 8 years time, like that's what I want to be, is just like secure. So that's around the age that me and my girlfriends are planning on, like say having kids and settling down and stuff. And that, again, that's something I want to speak to you about Vienna, because we're in September, we're moving to Malta, and then we're every year for the next, say 6-7 years, we're going to move different places. So Vienna's a place where Vienna's a place where we're going to actually move. I think after Malta.
What I wanted to say is like, Ben is probably the hardest working guy that I ever met in my life. And I think he is in that perfect middle ground where he's like super motivated and grateful. He even like fills out, like he has this journal. I think it's all very famous through him, and he fills out the journal every day, like why he's grateful and stuff like that.
That's what I want to start doing, to be honest. Yeah, because I've heard that again. Just doing all the stuff. Like some people laugh. Like I think the people that laugh are people that like are just so just got them egos and just that aren't gonna achieve like these amazing things in life, because you've got to be open-minded to everything. And I thought, there's no way I'm doing cold showers, there's no way I'm meditating, like, because it's just, I don't know, it just gets a bad rep of some people. But now it's about, like, for me, reducing the negativity in my life, which has helped so much, and actually trying the things that, well, there must be something in, because if successful people like Ben CB or like my friend Zach Ainsley, he's got like 1.5 million followers on Instagram. Like these successful people, if they're doing these things, there's got to be something in it. Like I'm going to listen to more about them than someone on Twitter that's saying like so like speaking so negatively. You know what I mean? So,
and that was also the reason. Like my journey was like this. I started as a dating and relationship coach. Yeah, and then I basically found that mindset topic, and I had like people teaching me that the person development and mindset topic. I switched my niche and started to coach business guys, like entrepreneurs and professional. And then I met Ben at some point. And I was so impressed by him, his friends, because he introduced me to other very successful poker players. And that poker playing lifestyle that I said, all right, like that was the missing part, because like teaching business guys is super interesting and like super cool, because they have also special challenges that they face. But I was so impressed by that, like that poker background and the game itself I also play, right? Yeah. But like the poker lifestyle and the people that you met through poker, that I said, all right, I want to like commit to the poker industry, and like it's a beautiful game. It has amazing people in there, and I want to help poker players to get even better.
That's sick, man. Yeah. So you literally just work with just poker players, or do you still do businessmen?
I work, let's say 95% with poker players. Yeah. Some of my clients, they also have a business. Yeah. So some people, they are both poker player and business guys. But I think all my clients have at least somehow connected to poker. Let's call it that way.
How have you found it different working for a poker player to say working to, whether it's a businessman or working actually someone like about like kind of picking up girls or something? Like, how have you found them similar? But obviously there is a lot of difference in terms of picking up girls, but let's say a businessman compared to a poker player, like, was it a challenge at first to go to kind of from business to poker?
When let's talk about business to poker first.
Yeah.
So business to poker was not such a big difference, because the mindset principles are always the same. Yeah. The only thing, of course, you have to make adjustments with some topics, but the principles, like how motivation works or something, like is the same.
Yeah.
The big difference for me was that with the business guys, usually you have other people involved, like employees or something, right? So you need to have more communication topics in there, like how do you talk to your wife? You know, maybe she's like a shareholder of your company, or to your employee or something like that. Yeah. Or maybe you want to have people who like invest in your company. So it's a lot about communication, presenting and stuff like that. Yeah. With poker players, it's a little bit more isolated, but they have other topics. Like for poker players, and that's one thing that Ben and I talked a lot in the beginning when I made the transition. He said, you're the perfect match for a poker player, because the way he sees like a standard poker player is like he's at home, you know, like grinding all day long, and what he wants is like friends and relationships. And that's what he needs. Yeah, because mindset is for some people still underrated and it's not like tangible. So I understand if they hear like mindset coach, or it's like, how do I know if it's a good mindset coach and stuff like that? I completely understand that. Yeah? But the relationship topic is, I think, more grabbable. And like, if you get one foot in the door, I'm like, all right, I can teach you how to get more like confidence with like the girls. Yeah. But then we can also talk about like other things like meditation, being grateful, motivation and stuff like that. And then people, they can open up more. Yeah.
That's what, because before I moved to the Isle of Man, that was like 5 years ago, I wasn't into the gym and stuff, and I got into the gym, and people always said, just it's the best thing for you. Like I say to people now, like I was the same. Like I just didn't realize how good it is for you, and because it scientifically produces endorphins to make you happier, right? Same with cold showers, which I didn't know until recently. But people just think it's this like myth now of, I won't do that. And same with like probably the mindset coach, like people, like it's better to try it and see how it like, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. But like people are so, it's just how our world is just like, it's just coded now of like, same with that's why I don't watch the news, because it's just so negative and toxic. But people are just so negative, like mindset. Like most people in my position wouldn't have done the challenge. They wouldn't have quit their job to do the challenge, because it's like, nah, they think about like what the bad things that would happen rather than the good things. There was risks involved, there was big risks, but I thought about the potential good things rather than the bad things. But nowadays people just like, no, I'm not going to go to the gym because blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to like try cold showers because who'd want to do that? It's like, I'm not going to try like and have a mindset coach because I don't need one. But then how do you know if you don't, unless you do it? Like I don't need, like I've never said like I want to do meditation, but I do, like I want to just try it, and if it's not for me, it's not for me, but at least you've tried it. Same with like a food, like I love foods, like you can tell I'm a big boy, but I'd rather try it. And there's some stuff where you're like, no way, but I'd rather try it and be like, nah, like I don't like it, so that's not for me. But some people are like, no, I'm not trying it. And life's about experiences, man. You know what I mean? Like this, like that's why I love doing these podcasts. Like I said to you before this, like just having a conversation with someone new and these amazing people like I've got my access to in poker now and outside of poker. It'd be stupid not to. So yeah. I'm sure you've had people.
I also
like,
want to mention that mindset work for me personally is more than just meditation and cold showers, but I want to tell you a short story first.
Yeah.
Because you said something very interesting before. You said like, how do you know if you need a mindset coach? Mm-hmm. And this week there was something that happened that like got me thinking. Yeah. I started to work with a very successful French player.
Yeah.
And we worked together and by now, like for 1 month, I already worked with him. And the last call we had, he came in the call and he's like, yeah, I have to go to a different room. Wait a second. And then he went to a different room. I'm like, why do you whisper? And he's like, yeah, my friends laugh at me because I work with a mindset coach. And I was thinking like, wow, like that's really crazy. Like, yeah. I think if they laugh at you because of this, they should talk to me first. Yeah. Like they need a mindset coach. Yeah. Like, because
he should be the one. That's what I'm saying. I was thinking about this with like the cold showers because I know Ben CB has got like crap thrown at him for like doing cold showers or doing his workouts. Like he should be the one laughing at them. Like this French player should be the one laughing at them to be like,
exactly.
Like I'm getting access to stuff that will make me a better person and make me better at poker that you are not. So, but it's actually the other way around. This is the thing. Exactly. Like, and this is what it was with poker streaming. Now, all my friends from back home, I'm the one laughing because I'm doing something that I love and they're not. But I thought in school, they would be the ones laughing at me. So it's funny how it like switches and changes.
Yeah. And like this really got me thinking like, wow, like the mindset is so underrated that people laugh at him. Yeah, because I think there's a lot of misconception that leads me to the next topic that I had in mind. Because mindset work is not just cold showers and meditation.
Yeah.
What I focus on with my clients are like 3 different areas. And I think if you really understand the mindset work, you really understand those 3 areas are connected. You need to work on all 3 of them to really make a difference, because that's my idea from my coaching. Yeah, I mentor my clients, and at the end, they need to, or they have a transformation made. Yeah, let's call it that way. Yeah. So it's basically all about transformational work.
Yeah.
So the first topic is the classical mindset stuff. As you said, like meditation, showers, but also dealing with tilt, for example, goal setting, like productivity, like structuring your day, like self-doubt, fear, the classical mindset stuff. Yeah. You probably heard about this.
Yeah.
The second topic that I think is also very, very important is performance. Like, how can you play your A game each session you play, right? So like, how can you bring yourself into that high performing state? And basically I call this like a door, like opening a door, having access to your best self. You play your session and then you close the door and then you sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a pendulum, right? For high performance, you need high recovery, and you need to learn both. And that's basically the performance topic. And then the last topic is, I call this optimization. So we have mindset, performance, optimization. And this is the life around poker. This is everything regarding like sport, nutrition, but also relationships, because they also have an impact on your career and your life as well. And you need to work on all 3 of them. Only then, in my opinion, you can become a very successful poker player. Yeah. So it's not just meditation and cold showers. Yeah, I know you didn't mean that, but I just want to tell this for the watchers.
Yeah. That's so they're the stuff that I'm adding, because I've got an amazing relationship with my girlfriend. I do go to the gym, I do eat healthy, and sleep I knew was the number 1 thing that I wanted to do. So like you said, then that's when you can then add stuff like, right, what can we work on that can then take it to this next level of adding them stuff in, you know what I mean? So
Exactly. Yeah. So I know you know that, but I just wanted to share this with the viewers, because I also see this as my mission to tell people like how important mindset work is, how beautiful it can be, as well.
Yeah.
And even if some people might think, I have a strong mindset, there's always room to grow. I also have coaches in different areas, because I know that I need to improve as well. So I think the best investment is having coaches around you. And that's also one thing that I love about poker, because with the strategy coaches, it's very normal. If you don't have a poker strategy coach, people know you're not the good player. And I think, and that's my goal, in the next year, to tell people like, yes, you need a yes, you need a strategy coach, but you also need a mindset coach. And the combination of both, this is basically where you become unstoppable. So if you want to have the best out of your poker career, out of your life, you need a strategy and a mindset coach. And that's basically what I want to make people understand, especially people who say like, mindset coach, I don't need that. That's the mission.
It's funny how like, so there's actually for, like you said, the kind of poker coach and then the mindset. For me, there's actually like, so I had never even thought about the mindset coach thing of it, because I was working on different areas, but I think that'll be another section. So then there's that one. Then the middle one is, that's why I was then working with Zach Ainsley. He's kind of like my like fitness coach in a way. So he does my like nutrition, my workouts. And so then all three, this is what I'm saying, to put in place and there's never, everyone's different, right? And this is what I'm saying, like people come on my stream, like, how did you get better? Like, what do you do? And someone copying like someone else may not work for them. But I think like in most things, to be successful, if you do try and like replicate what like the top people are doing, and it's only going to be like a recipe like for success. Obviously, there's certain things that like Zach's give me certain foods where I just don't enjoy eating, so then we'll like adjust it from there. But it's just funny how like I just never got the Ben CB, like people like just like talking like bad about him for doing the stuff he's doing, and it's just like, well, like you're the someone who's more successful than Ben CB would not be saying these things about Ben CB. It's only the ones actually that are so jealous to wanting to be in his position, and it's so true. And because I had that at the start of my stream, and like you get negative people coming in and stuff, and the only people that talk like smack and like say bad things are just very negative people that actually have a load of their own issues, and they're just so jealous. Like they're so jealous of you, because I'm the same. Like I just want to bring this like positive attitude to poker. Like life's too short. Just like let's all just achieve these amazing things together. We're speaking to Zach of like bringing this fitness side into it and just getting everyone just better, like just rising up together. And there's still so many poker like people in poker where just like they just try and like shit on so many other people and try and bring them down. It's like, that's not a good way, because poker's still a niche, like it's still quite a small community, but just try and bring everyone up and try and succeed these things together, rather than just like, I don't know, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, there will always be people that don't understand, the mindset work, or like that are negative. I had one person once tell me, also a poker player, he said, why should I go to the gym? If I go to the gym, I cannot play and I lose EV. So it's minus EV to go to the gym. And I was like, okay.
That's basically like saying like, why sleep? Like if I don't sleep, you know what I mean? And but this is what I'm saying. Like it's people don't realize, but you look at the most successful people in all types of businesses and sport, like people do, like they are all the same like kind of mindsets, plus then they just do the right things. Like I don't know. Yeah. People just aren't open. And that's why, like, I'm not like, I haven't got this big ego and I'm not like big headed, but I do realize that I have got a very, very good opportunity to be successful in poker, because I am open to all types of forms of help to how to get there, all types of forms of listening off players better than me and also players worse than me to try and learn. I'm not like, right now, yeah, I'm sponsored by GG Poker and I know everything and you don't. No, I'm like, listen, I'm still trying to learn. I still think I'm a like very bad player. Like I've got so much to learn because I've never really studied that much other than I've studied a year of study. That's all I've done of like really good study, or the right study. So it's just about having that mindset. And like you said, just switching that. And people think it's just like this myth. It's so weird. It's just like, it's just so crazy to me. But they are the people that are so like thingy about that will never, it's sad to say, but they would need to realize they will never achieve the things that I want to achieve in my life.
Yeah. Beautiful sentence. And I think that brings me to the last question. And the last question, because we're talking for a while now already. So where can people find you? Where can people reach out to you?
I'm on Twitch 5 days a week. So twitch.tv/RobinPoker. Trying to push my social medias more, trying to do clips, day in the lives, on TikTok. So TikTok, just RobinPoker, Twitter, RobinPoker, Instagram I'm on as well. And I'm trying to do a bit more YouTube as well. So because GG have got the sponsorship with the WSOP. So I'm trying to do like more content rounds when I go to the WSOP, to like doing vlogs and stuff. So I'm just trying to do just all the things that I enjoy, but also trying to build up my like brand and just trying to, just trying to grind as much as I can. And like I said, maybe there's something, I know we've been talking a while, but I now want to, I think it's time in my life where I do something that I can do from home, where I want to go and travel. So me and my girlfriend want to travel. So we're going to move to Malta because we want to somewhere a bit nice and hot. But like, would you recommend Vienna if we were going to move there in about a year or 2 years time? Yeah,
100,000%. Yeah.
How long do you live there?
Vienna is the city of my heart. Yeah, and I really think like Ben is originally from German. Yeah. And he never said this to me, but I think he loves the city as well. Yeah, a lot. And
so is he based in Vienna now?
Yes. Yeah. And I think I know that there are many poker players from Germany, for example, or from other European countries coming to Vienna because the city is really, really beautiful. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm also thinking about moving in the future to a different place. Yeah, but it's very hard to let go of Vienna. It's very, very hard. Yeah,
I'm football. I was just see Liverpool, England, and I think I want to be based there. Like when I eventually like settle down, have kids, because I just love. That's just my city. Like I've missed it, moving away from it for 4 or 5 years. But now, because I'm young again, I'm just basically wanting to do stuff that if I'm thinking of when I'm 50, what would I regret? I would regret not going and traveling around the world. And I couldn't have before I had this job. I did now this job because my old job I had to do from where I'm from here. So now I have the opportunity. People could just be like, no, I'm quite settled here, to be honest. It's quite nice. But no, I'm not. Like, I want to go and see the world, and that's something that I want to do. And same with getting in shape. Like I'm in decent shape, but never seen abs or never like seen progression in that. And that's why I'm working with like the Zach Ainsley, the body, like my fitness coach now, of just doing stuff. Like I hate being one of them type of people to be like, I really want to do this. Well, why don't you do it then? Like, I don't know. And it is very hard. Like it is very hard to achieve these things, poker, fitness, because if it was easy, I always say this, I say this probably too much. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It'd be very easy to do. And it's hard. Like you said at the start, we both kind of worked hard to the positions we're in now, but we've also motivated to go and achieve different things in life.
Yeah, for sure. And I will definitely put all your social media links down below in the description. I think you put mine in the description down too.
Yeah.
With that in mind, anything else you want to share at the end or say?
No. I just, thanks for having me on. Like I said, I've been focusing a lot more on like a poker coach, fitness coach, mindset coach, and something that I've never really like kind of even thought about. So even before this podcast, obviously I know we followed each other, but after this podcast, I think I definitely want to have a conversation like privately to maybe start working together, because again, like I'm just all about trying things in life, man. I just think it'd be stupid for me to not. try these different things. And then if it works, like I said, if it works for me, it doesn't. But then imagine if like, because if I'd done that challenge, imagine if I hadn't have done that. Because I look back and think, geez, can you imagine if I didn't done that? I wouldn't have achieved these things I would have done now. So yeah, my aim is just, like I said, try and become one of the most respected poker players in the world online. Try and become #1 on Twitch eventually, and yeah, just keep grinding, man. Just keep enjoying life, because I just love doing this for a living, and try and I assume you're the same. I rarely get a good kick of inspiring people to do obviously, whether it's not in poker, but just like listen, I've seen your story, you've inspired me, or being in your stream. I got messages of like, especially in COVID, you've been a really troubling times. You've helped me through like depression and stuff, your community, and that's all I want. Like, I just want to create a positive community and just help people, because I've had so much help from other amazing people in my life, not just poker, just family, friends. So just bring a positive attitude to life, try and be a good person, and also if I can achieve the things I want to achieve in poker and life, then yeah, then it'll be an interesting process. Yeah,
I like it. I like it. Yeah. Then thanks for joining. And yeah, definitely I will take a look at your stream more often in the future.
Amazing, man. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.